I'm back. Road Rants on Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. Always. Okay, so we get the Clone Wars finale. Woo! We get the Mandalorian documentary series. Woo! 2 steps forward, 47 and a half steps backwards. This is not to be believed on Star Wars Day. Because I thought, surely to God, they will actually figure out a way to get out of this. No, let's double down on it, shall we? Lucasfilm. Let's start with the somewhere between, let's call it pretty good. Academy Award winner Taika Waititi to direct and co-write new Star Wars feature for theatrical release. Oscar nominee Christy Wilson Carnes, 3 names, to co-write screenplay with Waititi. Okay, so for full disclosure, I'm one of the 3 people on the planet that did not like Thor Ragnarok. I hated it. I've got it as a bottom 3 or 4 MCU movie. Yeah. I know everybody else loves it. Sorry, I don't. I don't like the flamboyant colors and all that horse shit. Okay, and I didn't like all the comedy. Now, for Taika and Star Wars. Taika has mentioned in the past that he understands the tone of Star Wars movies. And I have to admit, his season finale of The Mandalorian was phenomenal. He directed that. The big problem with Taika is he's also got a quote out there where he says, "I'll ruin your mythos in a second, baby." So while I'm still trying to be somewhat positive about Taika, is that concerning? You know what? It's not concerning, because who gives a fuck at this point? I mean, really. Let's just think about what all's happened. I want to say I'm yay. You know what? No. And unfortunately, what Taika's doing is tied in. It's oozing. It's oozing out. We are watching what I consider to be, we are watching with Leslye Headland what it must have been like. I mean, when we first got out of The Last Jedi and The Last Jedi was sort of birthing, itself, The Last Jedi right out in front of us, thy name in living embodiment is Leslye Headland. Emmy nominee Leslye Headland to write, produce, and serve as showrunner for an untitled Star Wars series for Disney+. We all know about Leslye Headland now. Social justice feminist nutcase that hates white people. And Lucasfilm just doubled down on her. I couldn't believe that. I told John Matrix about it, and he said, "You're kidding?" Or he said, "You're kidding, right? Star Wars Day." All of the bad publicity that has gotten surrounding that decision, and Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, they doubled down and gave you a big middle finger. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Every time we get something we halfway feel good about, the Clone Wars, the Mandalorian, we get some horse shit like this. And I don't know if they understand this. She's going to be the second coming of, she's liable to be that show, and that show, it's The Last Jedi. That's what this show is going to end up being to this community. It's going to be The Last Jedi. It's going to rebirth, as I illustrated a second ago, a second wave, intense firepower wave of the Phantom Menace. This show, and it's going to be continuous bad pub for this Star Wars show and for the studio. Sorry, not sorry, Lucasfilm. You did this one to yourself. You hired her. You let it leak to gauge your response, and then you still went through with this. That's a poor look. That means there's a section of the fan base you just completely don't give a shit about. And I hate to break it to you, it's about 55 to 60 people out of about every 100 Star Wars fans. So good luck. You saw that with your last, the Rise of Skywalker box office totals. Tell me what you think, Rhodes Squadron. Leslye Headland, your favorite SJW, is officially, per the Star Wars page, .com, doing this show. It is actually going to happen. They're actually proceeding with it. This is your Star Wars. Peace. I'm out till next time.
King Kong in the trunk.